Good afternoon and welcome to pitching in Northern Premier League action this afternoon. We're at the Marine Travel Arena as Marine welcome Nantwich Town. Marine currently sit in 7th place in the league. Nantwich in the relegation zone, battling out in 20th place. Just waiting for the two teams to come out. This afternoon I am joined by Adam Tiffin. Adam, what do you expect from this Marine side today?
Well, good afternoon, everyone. You'd expect, hopefully, a performance like Monday night. Not much changed in the team, as you'll get onto in a second, I imagine. And you can understand that from Neil Young. You know, when a team puts in a performance like they did on Monday night, such a convincing win, you look for that consistency in the side. It will be interesting to see how they line up front, thinking maybe Saul Solomon and Ben Hodkinson, the two strikers potentially, but we'll see how things line up. But yeah, I think if you're Marine today, you're feeling positive.
As you said, there's not much change in the team. It is just one change from Monday night. Ben Hodkinson is straight swapping for Joe Hardy. Went off injured in that game on Monday night, the 4-1 win against Southport. Just waiting for confirmation of where that will take place and a date for that cup final against Runcorn Linnets. Just going on to Nantwich Town, a win for them this afternoon. Take them out of the relegation zone with Stalybridge Celtic's game at Marsk being postponed. Two teams both ahead of them in the table. Lost 1-0 in their last two games against playoff rivals for Marine, Bamber Bridge and Gainsborough Trinity. So we'll get on to the two teams, starting with the host Marine this afternoon is number 1 Bailey Paston, 2 is Will Johnson, 3 Joe Bunny, 4 Mark Howarth, 5 the captain Josh Wardle, 6 Johnny Spittle, 7 Ben Hodkinson, 8 Charlie Doyle, 9 Jordan Lussey, 10 Sol Solomon and 11 Lucas Weir. The bench for Marine this afternoon is 12 Luke Clark, 14 Sean Smith, 15 Carl Haid, 16 Louis Britton and 17 Akil Raffi. So despite getting a hat-trick on Monday night, Louis Britton is still remaining on the bench, still returning from that hamstring injury. As the teams are coming out now. Just moving on to Nantwich Town's starting 11 this afternoon is number 1 Thomas Booth, 2 Aidan Roxburgh, 3 Perry Birkinshaw, 4 Nathan Akome, 5 their captain Troy Bourne, 6 Dylan Thompson, 7 Stephen Hewitt, 8 Casper Hughes, 9 Connor Evans, 10 Sean Cook, 11 Byron Harrison. And the bench for the Dabbers this afternoon is 12 Daniel Cockerline, 14 Thomas Scully, 15 Joel Connolly, 16 Liam Humbles and 17 is Jonathan Morgan. So a couple turning to the bench this afternoon. Adam Carl Haid, after a little niggle injury, is back on the bench, and also Akil Raffi we yet to see in a Marine shirt. Do you reckon we'll see him feature later on in the game?
Well, you'd think so, potentially, with the fact that he's played in the past. You'd think Neil would have used his knowledge of the squad to in the preparation for the game. I'm not surprised that Louis Britton isn't starting, just with obviously he scored the hat-trick on Monday, but there's always a bit of an injury concern with him. You don't want him to be fully fit because he is an important player for Marine, so there's no point in risking him, especially when we've had goals coming from elsewhere in the squad in the last few games. But yeah, some good returns to the bench, as you say, with Carl Hayes and Akil Raffi. So I think in terms of bench options, it's probably the strongest been it's quite a while, to be honest.
And if you did keep a sharp hearing out there, going through the Nantwich Town team, you would have heard number 9 Connor Evans, formerly with Marine earlier in the season, did actually feature in that reverse fixture at Nantwich Town. Marine 2-1 winners on that cold Tuesday night. Caden Campbell with both of them. So Nantwich in a full yellow strip this afternoon. Marine back in main colours of a white shirt, black shorts and black socks. Josh Solomon Davis in the team today, interviewing Neil Young after that win on Monday night, said he's got a bit of a knock from last league game against Whitby Town. He's not featuring today. And also Joe Hardy, as you mentioned, went off in that game on Monday with a slight hamstring injury, and he won't be featuring this afternoon either. Seems to be 1 in 1 out with injuries at the moment. It's not what you need at this stage of the season.
Not at all. But we have as a club, coped well with it. I mean, thankfully we have, for this level, decent financial resources compared to some other clubs. We have been able to bring players in and out, but I mean, the luck we've had this year of injuries has been absolutely horrible. So to be in the position we're in, getting into these last few games of the season, it's really a credit to the lads who've not only stayed injured, but the whole club in keeping the squad together and keeping us in a good position.
Yeah, I think if we went through the injury list, we'd be kicking off for the second half instead of the first. But here we are, Nantwich over the ball to get this game underway. Both teams look to be set. This could be a big afternoon for Dale Young's men. Not push for playoffs. A win today could get them on the same points as Gainsborough Trinity ahead of them, who have a tough game at home to Warrington Town this afternoon. So we'll keep you updated on what happens there as the game gets underway and the ball runs all the way back to number 1 Bailey Passon. He rolls out to Joe Bunny, who's recently had his loan extended to the end of the season in the week. Cemented his place at left back position, which he kind of didn't expect when he first joined the club. Ball forward by Howard looking for Solomon. He's going to run all the way back to Thomas Booth between the Nantwich sticks this afternoon. He's just rolled the ball out his feet. I think he'll go direct with this one. The ball kick, and it's out to Charlie Doyle. Missed kick forward, but it does find Solomon. Shrugged off the ball, and now Birkenshaw skips past Lussey, wearing the number 9 shirt this afternoon. Ball out to Birkenshaw, still making that run, but it's got too much pace on the pass, and will run away for a goal kick to pass him.
Relatively confident start from Nantwich, considering the league position they occupy. I think it seems like the way that we predict in terms of Sol Solomon, Ben Hodkinson occupied in the middle of that middle of the attack, and then it looks like Charlie Doyle's actually come out to the right here, and then Lucas Weir on the left. But I'm sure we'll mix between throughout the game.
Bassett's kick couldn't find the head of Doyle. It's gone out for thrown to Birkenshaw, slightly inside his own half. As you say, Nantwich are third bottom in the league, but as we know, and as we've seen week in, week out, no easy game in the Northern Premier League. As they come forward here with Byron Harrison. Well, cross looking to come in by Cook, and he's still got the ball, taking on Lussey, and he does get his cross in. It's chested back calmly to his keeper by Joe Bunny. It's going to be Connor Evans leading the line for the Dabbers this afternoon, alongside Byron Harrison.
Yeah, in his time at the club here, it wasn't necessarily a massive physical presence, so I think it'll be a favourable matchup for Wardle and Spittle today.
Ball forward is flicked on by Hodkinson, and Solomon just not alert to it on that occasion as it's cleared away. Doyle's under it, but there's a ball forward now by Hughes. It's going to be kept onto by Johnson, and pressure by Birkenshaw. He calmly lays it to Lussey now. Forward ball looking for Hodkinson, who's made the run in behind. Keeper thought about coming forward. It's a cross in by Hodkinson, spilled, and Solomon was there. Great defending, put in by Nathan Akoma. It was a poor piece of play by goalkeeper Thomas Booth, who spilled the cross into the path of Solomon, but the ball clears away for a corner.
Yeah, brilliant defensive work, but there by the number 4 Akome to get back and clear the ball there. I mean, it's a bit of the keeper's had a nervy start, a few miss-hit clearances, and there he's dropped the ball.
Corner
so we need
to by Hodkinson onto the head of Spittle. It's come down, Spittle saved away. Somehow Marine haven't found a goal inside the first 5 minutes here. Johnny Spittle, the ball fell to his feet and he got his shot on goal. It's clawed away on the floor by Booth. As you say, he's been amongst the action early on here. But Marine with 2 good chances inside the first 5 minutes. I think an early goal in this game would make it a lot more comfortable for the fans at the MTA, but they come forward again here with Hodkinson. Kicked out of play by Birkenshaw. And a Marine throw-in. Hodkinson's going to leave this one for Jordan Lussey. We know what he can do from this kind of range from the throw-in. Lussey, the ball in his hands. Wardle and Spittle have both entered the box as the ball comes in, looking for Wardle. It's headed out by Thompson. Cross comes in and it's cleared again by Thompson for another Marine corner.
Yeah, Marine need to keep, especially in a time like this where we're so on top. Nantwich really need to settle into this game a bit quicker, because at the moment we're causing threats down that right hand side. Hodkinson making those runs. Hopefully not here, but Marine on top needs to take advantage of this chance.
Another unswinger from Ben Hodkinson as the ball goes towards the near post, headed, flicked on, and it's gone towards Spittle. Somehow again, Johnny Spittle can't find the back of the net. However, tries to put another cross in, but it's blocked by Roxburgh, and Marine will have a throw in. It was flicked on.
How has that not gone in?
It was flicked on, I think, at the front post by a Nantwich player. And you think either Bunny or Spittle would get the golden touch in front of goal, but great defended again by Yellow Shirt. Another throw in on the opposite side here by Jordan Lussey. Goes towards Wardle, it's headed out by Akome and cleared further by Hughes. And Nantwich can break here with Connor Evans taking on Johnson. Looks he got past Johnson Evans, and he has. And Johnson looks to put a challenge, Evans goes to the shot, and it's just gone past the far post. Good effort by the former Marine man. Not many times that Will Johnson's been done on a one-on-one, but not done for pace on that time.
Very end-to-end start here, and it's good for Nantwich. They've sort of given a little bit of a punch back to show Marine, you can't just sit up in our end. We've got things to attack you with as well. So it's a little bit of a warning shot from Marine, not to pile plays forward too much. But how there hasn't been a goal in these first 6-7 minutes it's beyond me.
If you are just joining us, it is 7 minutes in. Marine 0, Nantwich Town 0. Chances at both ends, as he said, both sides. Ball forward here by Bunny. Lovely ball looking for Solomon. Hits the head of Solomon. Didn't know too much about it, and cleared out by Perry Birkhamshire. On ball that Joe Bunny's underneath. Howarth's there to flick it on towards Lucas Weir. Just couldn't get hold of it there. Ball knocked forward by Akome, headed out again by Joe Bunny, and cleared forward by Howarth. Akome's under it again. Solomon jumps this time, and the ball's broke for Ben Hodkinson now on the break. Lays it off to Lucas Weir, who did look to be offside. Goes to the shot anyway, it's into the side netting.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate. I could see Weir just just offside. I think Hodkinson there probably could have run with the ball a bit more, but it's a tricky situation that for Hodkinson, because he has got the man just off to his left, but you think if he's going to run down the middle, maybe drive at the defence a little bit more, allow Weir to hold his run a bit. But yeah, good signs early for Marine.
So a free kick just outside of his box for Thomas Booth. Goes long, looking for Evans, headed out by Wardle. Ball breaks for Casper Hughes, who's been amongst it early on, but it's fell for Charlie Doyle. Lays it back towards Johnson, who has time to come forward for Marine. Goes for the crossfield ball, looking for Hodkinson, but it's won in there by Akome. And now Roxburgh can come forward. Ball into Harrison. Is too much pace on the pass, and it's falling for a Marine shirt again. Johnson come forward now, looking for Hodkinson's made the run, but he decides against it, but he's going for it this time, looking for Hodkinson. It's a nice ball in behind. Hodkinson just about gets onto it, lays it back to Lussey. It's a poor ball really, and Nantwich can clear the lines through Troy Bourne. But here's Johnson coming forward again for Marine in a right back position like we saw on Monday night. Hodkinson now into Lussey. To Solomon, his ball just didn't break for him. It's cleared out for a throw in by Dylan Thompson.
That ball just over the top of the, or in between rather, the centre back and the full back is causing problems every time, whether it's Hodkinson making the run or whether it's Solomon. It's something that Nantwich really need to sort out quickly, because with the two strikers we've got up top, we're going to be doing it all game.
Thrown by Lussey comes in, and it's cleared away by the captain Troy Bourne. It's going to be another throw in for Marine, a bit further back this time. As the ball has gone over house number 28. One in a new ball there. It's waiting for one by the substitute bench. Ball is back in play now. It's going to be another Jordan Lussey throw in into the box. Actually scored 2 goals in his last 2 games, Jordan Lussey, both from the penalty spot. But we know what he can do from this range with the ball in his hands. As he goes long again, looking for Wardle, who flicks it on, and Solomon just too high for him, and collected by Booth.
Even with the sort of lack of aerial threat we've got up front, we're still winning a lot of these headers from these throw-ins, Jordan Lussey throw-ins.
Pulled forward by Booth, looking for Harrison, headed out by Wardle. That's collected by Hughes. Plays it back to Thompson, and all the way back again to Thomas Booth in the goal. Goes long, but it's a poor kick straight into the feet of Will Johnson, under no challenge there. And Johnson looking for the crossfield pass, but instead goes to Spittle, and back to Johnson now, under a bit of pressure. Doyle, and Lussey will knock this one forward, looking for the run of Hodkinson, who's been looking for those runs in behind in this first 10 minutes. Couldn't quite get hold of it on that time, and a poor clearance by Spittle will let Sean Cook come forward here now for Nantwich. And now Hewitt, pass that wide to Roxburgh, who's got a chance to put a cross in. Looks to take on Lucas Weir, gets the cross in. Roxburgh, it's not a bad ball, flicked on by Wardle, the header comes in. Good save by Passon. It was Berkhamshaw coming at the back post, the chance is still alive for Nantwich. A cross comes in again, headed away, and a shot by Stephen Hewitt's and over the bar, but got to be alert to that one, Bailey Passon.
Yeah, good reactions from him to deny the chance at the post. But it's another example of how Nantwich have been able to get at Marine quickly, even though Marine have been the more dominant side throughout the start of this game.
No early goals in any of the other MPL games. As I mentioned, some big games at the top. Bamber Bridge at home to South Shields, and Gainsborough Trinity hosting Warrington Town this afternoon. Passon gets the kick forward, flicked on by Doyle, and Hodkinson's just out-muscled there, but he's found the ball at his feet again. Hodkinson coming forward, finds Solomon, who goes for the shot. Offside flag does go up on Sol Solomon.
Yeah, I think that's pretty tight. I mean, the linesman was in a good position, but it's very tight, that call from the linesman. I think with those situations, that's where you would want a Louis Britton just to be that sort of physical presence in the box, somebody who's just going to sit around the penalty spot, whereas obviously Sol and Ben like to make those diagonal runs and get in behind defenders. Don't really have anyone to cross to in those situations.
Kick forwards won by Spittle, and the referee seen a foul on there by Byron Harrison. It's the tussle between the two players. Harrison penalised though. There will be free kick for Marine. Passon is going to take himself. He's halfway inside his own half. Goes long again, looking for Hodkinson, who's put in there by Thompson. Only as far as Charlie Doyle into Lussey now. Doyle again. Inside to Howarth, he's got space to shoot, and he takes on a shot. It's found a deflection on its way, and it's going to be another Marine corner.
Yeah, don't mind that from Howarth. He's got a bit of space there, and we know he can hit them pretty well. So even though he's not connected cleanly, or as cleanly as he'd want with that, we won a corner out of it. And it's in those chances where Nantwich is setting up sort of on the edge of the box, where you're going to need to, especially early in these games, you're allowed and have a bit more freedom to take these chances from the edge of the box.
Referee has just halted play. The two number 5s for both teams, Wardle and Bourne. Tussler in the box. Hodkinson will put a corner in here, headed out by Hewitt towards the back post, and I think Casper Hughes will be able to clear into the feet of Evans now, who lays it back to Casper Hughes. This ball forward is prevented by Johnson, but it's found the feet of Hughes again. Nantwich will have their time to go forward. It does look like there's a man stripped, not ready for a substitute here. It's Nantwich come forward again. Bergenshaw's cross is blocked and out for a corner. It does look like an early substitution possibly for the visitors.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I didn't see anyone go down in this situation, but it looks like the man over there on the left.
Yeah, I think it might be number 6,
limping.
Dylan Thompson, who's going to be leaving the pitch. Doesn't look in too much distress, but he's the man to be replaced.
Nantwich, leaving the field is number 6, Dylan Thompson.
So Jonathan Morgan will be taking his place.
17, Jonathan Morgan.
Just under a quarter of an hour of play. Marine 0, Nantwich Town 0. The visitors into an early change here. Looks to be forced.
Yeah, you'd imagine that's probably the way he was. Actually, he doesn't look too happy, to be fair, so that might just be a tactical move. If you're a player, that's horrified if you're a player being brought off after not even 15 minutes. But he doesn't look to be in too much discomfort. Maybe there is an underlying issue.
To the changing room, so maybe it is a muscle injury. The corner comes in towards the front post. Passer makes a meal of it and just about cleared away. Still with the ball, Nantwich goes to put another cross in, but it's blocked by Johnson, and Johnson's there again to put a challenge in. Lussey's over there now, and Nantwich play into one of their own players and out for a throw-in. He's still walking slightly slow with it. Dylan Thompson has left the pitch. Throwing down the line by Johnson, looking for Doyle. It's missed Doyle, but it's headed out of play by Troy Bourne for Marine throwing much further into the Dabbers' half. Johnson will be taking it just slightly out of Jordan Lussey's range this one. He's going to go long anyway, Johnson, looking for Hodkinson, who's out jumped there by Bourne, and the last touch calling to James Atkinson came off Ben Hodkinson. That'll be a Nantwich Town throw-in. So Berkhamshaw down the line. Johnson wins the header and Howarth can get over it. Ball forward in between both Solomon and Weir, so it will just break for Thomas Booth. It's an early goal for Bamber Bridge, and what a run they're on as they've taken the lead at home to South Shields. First versus second, and that one is kicked forward by Booth's gone all the way to the Marine box, and I think Johnny Spittle's done just enough, and he has to clear his lines. One in there again by Troy Bourne, forward by Weir, but it's going to be collected by, I think it was Hewitt. Challenge in there by Howarth, out for a throw.
Yeah, the game's sort of settled down a bit now. Not really much happening at either end. Teams are sort of aren't as sort of frantic as they were in that first 10 minutes.
Ball in the corner with Harrison. He looks to shrug off the challenge of Wardle and has won himself a throw-in. A corner, sorry. Right at that corner. By the corner flag, and it's going to be Stephen Hewitt over this one. Fair few corners for both sides in this opening 15-20 minutes. So, corner comes in. He's pushing the back there by Akobe. The referee plays on as Johnson looks to unleash Sol Solomon on the attack, but it's gone out for a throw-in.
Don't mind that from Will Johnson, just getting up the pitch, even though it's gone straight out of play. We've been able to gain so much ground from that, and obviously if he'd have hit it slightly better, maybe we would have found Sol Solomon.
Throwing down the line, flicked on by Harrison, and Nantwich certainly competing in the air. This is Johnson this time, wins a header, but it's come out to Harrison again. Doyle hits the deck, but referee again plays on. Doyle in there again, but I think that is a foul that time. It was both Charlie Doyle and Casper Hughes fighting for the ball. I think Hughes has just caught Doyle late there.
Yeah, he caught him slightly late. I think that'll probably just be a booking. I don't think it was quite bad enough for it to be a straight red. But you run the risk when you go up high like that, not getting there first. And it's one of those ones where you've got to know as a footballer sometimes just pull out of those.
Yeah, so it will be the first yellow card of the afternoon for Casper Hughes. 19 minutes in, Marine 0, Nantwich Town 0. Chances at both ends, one for Connor Evans, former Marine man, one-on-one with Passant, and also chances for Johnny Spittle and Sol Solomon for Marine. Remains goalless here as the ball kicked forward by Berkhamshaw, knocked away by Spittle out. It's the last touch off Evans, and Marine will have a throw-in. Johnson can go down the line looking for Doyle, who gets the flick on. It's leapt on by Solomon. Look at a little back heel looking for Hodkinson, just slightly too much on it for Hodkinson, and Aidan Roxburgh's got time and space to come forward for Nantwich now. Goes down the line, but good foot in there by Josh Wardle. And now the ball's with Joe Bunny. He's passed down the lines, challenged by Roxburgh, and it's a throw-in for the Mariners on the halfway line.
We knew about Joe Bunny's adaptability when he came into the club, but he has really settled into that role at left back pretty well since he's come in the last few games. Just looks to be sort of a calming presence. He's not as needing to get forward as a Sean Smith, so it provides a bit more stability as well at the back.
Bunny loops it forward, headed in there by Akome and cleared forward by Bourne. Challenged in there by Bunny, and Weir goes flying in on a Nantwich player. Weir's actually come off worse from that, despite the aggressive appeals by the Nantwich bench, but the game's still going on as Solomon able to get onto the ball and look to come forward here. Challenged again by Nathan Akome. He's made a good start to this game. And the ball's cleared by goalkeeper Booth. Ball finds Jordan Lussey. Now Spittle will knock it forward again, looking for Hodkinson. That through ball in behind. Cleared out for a throw-in by Troy Bourne, and Marine chance to launch this one into the box through Jordan Lussey once more.
Yeah, Lussey very heavily involved in this game today. And the number 9, one of his many shirt numbers this season.
So Jordan Lussey with the ball in his hands as Wardle and Spittle both come forward for this one once more. The throw-in comes in, flicked on by Wardle. It's a good header in there again by Akome. The ball's still alive though. A few appeals by Marine fans. Ball forward again by Johnson. And the long ball back towards Bailey Passant, who gets a lengthy clearance on that. Winning there by early substitute Jonathan Morgan out for a Marine throw-in.
Scrappy is the word I'd use to describe sort of the last 5-10 minutes.
Thrown down the line by Johnson. For bit of a shove in there, sorry, by Charlie Dill. Clear free kick for Nantwich Town. So Thomas Booth will shove his players up the pitch. Going to go direct again for this one, possibly looking for Byron Harrison. It is up towards Harrison. Winning there by Spittle though. Solomon get hold of this one, lays it back to Doyle, who tries to play it inside. It's a good challenge in there by Birkinshaw, still up the pitch. Birkinshaw, and he's got a chance to put a cross in it. He takes on Lussey. Lussey puts the challenge in, and it's going to be a Nantwich throw-in, in line with the edge of the box.
Yeah, I can understand why Charlie Doyle's trying to switch it there, but if he's going to switch it there, he's got to get it onto his left foot and try to play that pass. Because playing that pass with your right foot, he's got to get it so right, time it so well for it to not be intercepted.
So a throw-in for Nantwich into the feet of Hewitt. Now Birkinshaw is going to put that cross in towards the near post. It's a poor one in the end, and Weir will have time to clear it, but he's taking his time, Weir. He ends up dribbling out and giving the ball away needlessly to Hewitt. Just had to put his foot through that, and Nantwich get a cheap free kick by Johnny Spittle. Not happy with the free kick. I think just a little bit of afters there by Spittle on the Nantwich man down isn't approved by Captain Troy Bourne.
Yeah, it's all come from Lucas Weir just failing to clear his lines there. I know he had a little bit of space to run into, but at that stage, in that position, just outside your box, you've just got to try and get it forward and progress the team forward. And we're in a bad position now, they've got a good chance to cross in.
It's going to be a free kick for the Dabbers. I believe Stephen Hewitt's going to be over this one again. It's a good opportunity to get a ball into the box here. We've got a fair few yellow shirts in the Marine box for this one. The referee blows his whistle and Hewitt lofts one into the box. Winning there by Wardle. Still with the ball though, the Dabbers. Cross comes in, headed out by Wardle again. It breaks for Hodkinson now. He can come forward for Marine. He's got 2 men on his back, Hodkinson, and he stays on his feet really well. He plays it out to Solomon, and the referee's played an advantage there. A good advantage, you have to say, by Alex Beckett. He's tripped in the process, Ben Hodkinson. He's running inside a free kick.
I'm not actually sure if the referee showed that he was playing advantage, but obviously he was and he should have been. It's the right decision in the end from the referee. Hodkinson done well there to progress the ball forward. Maybe he could have played it a bit earlier, but he was under such pressure and pushing from the Nantwich defenders that he'd have struggled to get off the pass properly before he tried to play it. Looks like Joe Bunny's shaping up to take this one.
Yeah, it's going to be Joe Bunny on his left foot to put a delivery in here for Marine. Seen him a couple times on top of set pieces, but with Solomon and Hodkinson into team, he doesn't always get his chance. But he's got a chance here to put a cross in, headed out by Bourne. Charlie Dill's got a chance to put it back in the box, and he does. It's a good ball, headed out by Akome. Howarth's in there, puts his header in, cleared away. Doyle's under it again, and it's broke for Hewitt. Play it forward now, a decent looking ball for Evans, but Johnson defends well, really well in fact, hooks it down the line. And Spittle's just having a tussle in there with Roxburgh, but it's cleared forward by Howarth. And it's going to break all the way back to goalkeeper Thomas Booth. So it remains Marine 0, Nantwich Town 0. 26 minutes into this first half. Game has just had the sting taken out of it in the last 10 or so minutes as a foul. Joe Bunny on Connor Evans gives Nantwich another chance to put a good delivery in with a free kick. About 25 yards, 30 yards or so out from the Marine box.
Yeah, there's just been a lot of fouls, a lot of long balls, things like that. Nobody's really been able to have a long period of possession here. So you hope for all who's watching that things start to pick up a little bit here, but it has been after these first 5 minutes, it's not been a brilliant watch.
Well, Hewitt wanted to take it short, but the referee wasn't happy with the situation, so it's going to be pulled back, and Hewitt, the second time of asking, puts a very good ball looking for, might have been substitute Morgan in there, not too sure, but he plants his header wide of the post. Bassett gets things back underway quickly with a quick goal kick looking for Solomon. Good header in there by Bergenshaw. Breaks for Howarth though. Plays that wide to Lussey, and now Doyle. Back into Howarth. Marine looking to play it a little bit quicker in the Nantwich half as Weir comes forward now. Weir's got the pass to his left. I think Bunny might have just gone offside, but he's come back on now. Bunny, he's got a man on his back. Plays it back to Mark Howarth, who plays a dink ball in behind looking for Solomon. He might just be able to get over that, and he has. Solomon has done really well with the flag. Does eventually go up. Not too sure on that one. I think Solomon did really well actually just to get on the end of that, but linesman called it offside.
Yeah, that's a brave call because he sure didn't look offside. His run came from very far back when Howarth played the ball. I mean, he wasn't really close to the ball, so I wasn't following his exact run. But yeah, it's another tight call there probably by the linesman.
So will be a free kick for Booth to knock forward as he does. Again looking for Harrison, winning there by Josh Wardle. Winning there by Hughes. Nantwich still with the ball with Cook looking to put a cross in, and he does to the Marine box. Pass and reads it well. Claims and just gets his players back into shape. Eventually rolls out to Johnson. He's looking for that ball in behind and Hodkinson again. Good header in there by Bourne. As Hodkinson hits the deck, but no free kick. Marine with the ball though with Lussey. Now Johnson again looking to dink it in behind. A bit aimlessly this time. Cleared forward by Nantwich again. Howarth gets a challenge in. Hodkinson, but it's a good challenge in there by Morgan. A bit scrappy in there. Neither side can get hold of the ball, but ball out wide to Buddy now with a bit of space to play it in behind to Weir. Weir's got Akome for company. This cross is blocked and out for a throw-in.
in those situations you can tell the difference between the quality of. I mean, Saul Solomon's obviously a very, very good player, but there you think Weir could have maybe shaped things up a little bit, drove at his man, but instead just tried to sort of force across a little bit. But Lussey with another chance to get a decent throw in.
Well, it's in Jordan Lussey territory. And the throw is a bit of push and shove again in the box. Throw-in does come in. It's bounced out for Howarth. And it eventually gets cleared by Nantwich. A bit of confusion there. Headed back by Spittle. Hodkinson gets a foot in. But it's going to break for Roxburgh now. He can come forward with pace. Taking on Spittle. It looks to have beaten Johnny Spittle there, Roxburgh. He's still coming forward for Nantwich. He gets a cross in. Looking for the shot. Comes in and it's a goal. I think it's Sean Cook who's there. Brilliant driving play by Aidan Roxburgh, and it's a surprise goal for Nantwich Town, and they found themselves 1-0 up.
It's all come from that break down the right hand side from Roxburgh. It's a great run, showed good pace, got into the box and found the number 10 really well. But you've got to say for Marine, how they've been allowed to break out from the position they were in, get up the other end of the pitch and score, it's a bad sign.
Yeah, well, the game did have the sting taken out of it the last 10 minutes. That suited the away side, and they've a brilliant break. You have to say Aidan Roxburgh did really well from right back to bomb forward, took on 2 Marine players, got the cut back in, and it fell to Sean Cook, who took his time, took a touch, and they barely passed, no chance. So Marine with a couple good early chances in the game, didn't take them. They found themselves a goal down here, and there's work to do for Neil Young's men. There's a back underway for Howarth to knock it forward. Straight out of play for a Davis throw-in. The crowd just a little bit unsettled now, a bit unsure what to do. Not often we found ourselves 1-0 down in the first half an hour at home. Ball forward by Spittle, headed again by Bourne. Howarth sends it forward again. Bourne clears his lines. There's no chances being taken here by the back three of Nantwich Town. If it's a Comey, Morgan or Bourne, they're just clearing the lines and getting back into shape. Jordan Lussey though to launch it into the Marine, to Nantwich's box, sorry. Throw comes in, it's a poor one, but it's come back out to Jordan Lussey. Cross comes in towards Wardle, who wins the header, headed out by Bourne. Cleared forward, looking for Evans. Johnson wins the header, but maybe a foul in there by Hodkinson. Referee plays on. Hodkinson still with the ball at his feet, looking to take on Nantwich men. Maybe just took on more than he could get past there. It's cleared forward, but Marine with the ball again with Johnson. Now Spittle going to play it back all the way to Bailey Passon, who goes forward again, not finding a Marine player. These forward long balls not really suiting Marine at this moment in time.
I think in situations like the last few minutes, you've sort of started to see that having really only 2 true attack-minded players on the pitch is hurting Marine a little bit. And even the 2 players we have in Hodkinson and Solomon, despite their quality, aren't, out-and-out play through the middle strikers. So I think it's something that Neil Young will probably be looking at going into half-time, so we're only about 12-13 minutes away from any additional time. But yeah, gonna have to see how we get through these next 15 minutes.
Solomon is under challenge there by Bourne, and the referee eventually comes back for the free kick. It's going to be Joe Bunny again to drift this one in from central area. You can't say they haven't had the chances, Marine. As I said, in the first 5 minutes, it was Johnny Spittle with a real good chance, about 3 yards from goal. Found the back of the net. This Bunny's ball in is a really poor one. It's going to be caught every day of the week by Thomas Booth, that one.
I think in situations like that, when you have likes of Ben Hodkinson taking corners, you'd think you'd be able to put in a decent cross from a free kick there. Even if you wanted to use left foot or if you wanted to use a right foot, you've got Sol Solomon. So is confusing why Joe Bunny's been taking these free kicks.
Ball goes forward, it's cleared by Marine, and Lussey underneath that one. Forward again by Hughes, one in there by Johnson. It breaks for Charlie Doyle now to turn and come forward for Marine. Plays it into the feet of Solomon. And now Howard with a bit of time to come forward. It's passing to Bunny. And Bunny forward for Weir, who's got Comey on his back again. Weir finds Howard, who puts an early cross in, beaten away by Morgan. I think Bunny might try and leave this one out for a corner, and he does. And there will be a Marine corner.
Yeah, good that from Marine. Nice run by Weir to give a bit of space for himself to run down the line for Bunny to find. And then Howard's cross was a good one, but well defended in the end by the Nantwich man.
So it's the other side here. Sol Solomon with the man to put the in-swinger into the box. Solomon gets his delivery in towards the near post, beaten away by Booth. It's going to be hit forward by Stephen Hewitt, looking for Evans. And the bounce does Johnson. He does just enough to play it back to his keeper. And put forward by Passon, headed in by Comey. Howard lays it down to Bunny. He goes down the line. Comey's going to be there again. Does well to shield Hodkinson away, and it's claimed by Booth. So if you are just joining us, it's about 37 minutes into this game. It's Marine 0, Nantwich Town 1. That goal on the half-hour mark by Sean Cook. It's Cook again looking to come forward here for Nantwich. His ball's broke instead for Harrison. He's on the wing and he's played the ball off Bunny and leaves it for a throw-in. Couple goals in other fixtures. Ashton United 1-0 up at home to Guiseley, and also Lancaster City have taken the lead away at Warrington Rylands. Throwing comes into the feet of Hewitt. He lays it back to Roxburgh. Puts a decent delivery in towards the box, and it's broke at the back post there. It's Birkenshaw who's come up from left wing back position, got a foot on the ball, but it's just wide of the post. It's going to be a goal kick.
Yeah, those crosses from the right-hand side have been going through to Will Johnson and Spittle at the right-hand side of our box. And a lot of the time they have been getting through to the man at the back post, something that maybe Will Johnson hasn't been used to, not playing in that right-back position as much for Marine, but it's something that's consistently happening.
Well, the ball has found the feet of Baron Harrison again, and he's having some joy down this right-hand side as he lays it back to Roxburgh. Now Hewitt to put a cross in. Headed away by Johnson, but it's still Nantwich with the ball. Birkenshaw gets past Lussey. Nice little back heel into Cook, who gets a cross in, but it's a poor one and out for a goal kick. Certainly having the better of the last 10 or so minutes ever since they got that goal. Nantwich have been on top, you have to say, in this game.
Definitely will. I don't know about you, we're thinking of changing things at half time, but looks like there has been a little bit of a tactical switch with Joe Bunny going up top.
Yeah, we mentioned that focal point early on. It's not what we've got in this game, but looks to be now with Joe Bunny coming up from left back into that striking position that we know we can play. Goal kick won in there by Bourne, who's won absolutely everything that's come his way. The Dabbers. Played out to Lussey. Lussey looking for Bunny in behind. The linesman again has put his flag up on Joe Bunny. Not too sure about that one.
Yeah, this must be the first time that number 3's been playing as number 9 and a number 9's been playing as number 3. Can't think of a time, at least this season, when that's happened. But yeah, I think it is probably the right decision to put Bunny up front, because we've just been lacking a different dimension up front, and we do have players like Lussey who are versatile, who can fill in roles if they need to. It'll be interesting to see what sort of tactical switches are made at half time, though, because obviously there's only so much they can do with the 11 on the pitch.
Well, it does look at the moment that Lucas Weir's ended up at left wing back and Jordan Lussey's a right wing back, as Marine come forward with Solomon, lays it off to Doyle, cleared again by Bourne. Played in towards Johnson, who's I think he's given a foul then on Byron Harrison there, a cheap one. With Johnson not really anywhere to go in the corner, but the referees penalise Harrison. Fortunately for Marine, it will be a free kick. So passing directly forward, looking for Charlie Doyle. Again, one in there by Tron Bourne. He's been absolutely excellent at the back for Nantwich in this first half. Lussey can play this one forward, looking for Solomon, but it's a really poor ball, way too much on it. And Booth will just let that one go to his feet, that he'll eventually collect.
Just times like that, we need a little bit more composure on the ball there. Lussey's got the ball, it's not particularly anything on, but he's just lumped it forward in the hopes of someone being there. Side looking for promotion, we just need to look a bit more composure on the ball.
Hewitt on the ball now under the challenge of Hodkinson. Hodkinson does well, wins the ball back and can come forward here for Marine. He's got Solomon on his left and he looks to play it in behind. But again, Nathan Akome, excellent defending. And cleared forward by Thomas Booth. Spittle with the header, it's gone backwards, but fortunately Johnson's there to knock it forward into the space. Forward by Bourne. Spittle gets the clearance in, but it's going to be running there by Hughes. The ball breaks for Roxburgh, who's gone past Lucas Weir, but Weir does well to get a foot in. And Wardle will play it into Hodkinson and back to Weir with time to come forward. He plays it first time into the feet of Solomon. Now Cook with a crossfield pass into Harrison, who's found himself on the left wing position in the last 5 minutes. Turned Harrison, looks to take on Johnson, who's still with the ball at his feet. He's come inside and it's all too easy there for Nantwich, and it's ball break for Evans and he's brought to the ground and it has to be a penalty. And I think it is a penalty. I'm not too sure if he's given the foul on Johnny Spittle, who's received a yellow card. I'm just waiting to see if it's on the edge of the box or inside the box.
That must have been inside the box. Yeah, it's penalty. It looks like a penalty.
Yeah, it looked a certain penalty there. Things going from bad to worse here for Marine. It's going to be a penalty for Nantwich. Johnny Spittle clearly bringing Connor Evans to the deck inside the box. So Nantwich Town with the penalty. It's going to be Byron Harrison, who's looked good in this last 5 or 10 minutes on the penalty. And Harrison into the top corner, and it's 2-0 to Nantwich Town. Pass up went the right way, but it's a brilliant penalty. Never going to save that one. And Marine found themselves 2-0 down before the break. And you have to say Nantwich Town need the points, and I said before the game, a win today would see them come out of the relegation zone. But at the moment, the points are going back to the Dabbers.
I mean, if you're Marine, you can't really be complaining about being on the losing end of this scoreline. We haven't created too many chances there, and for him to be able to just glide past players in the box like that, and Spittle just to bring him down like that was stupid. Firstly, but it's been a lacklustre performance for the last 35 minutes for Marine.
Well, Harrison had the ball at his feet and he was under no challenge, was he? He's allowed to come inside, plays it into Evans, and Evans just glided past Spittle and clearly brought to the deck. Fair penalty. Well, needless challenge there by Evans on Spittle. The referee lets the game go underway quickly, and the ball forward looking for Solomon. Good defended by Roxburgh, clears his lines. And there by Wardle, and Howarth knocks it back to his captain. Howarth again into Hodkinson. Challenging there by Akome, and Hodkinson brings Hewitt to the deck, and it will be a Nantwich Town free kick. So just a minute left until the half-time whistle. Marine 2-0 down.
Can't have imagined this performance off the back of Monday night either. Same squad, it's not like there have been massive changes. It's been just such a contrast.
It's Hewitt into Cook and into Harrison. Could be a third for Nantwich. They're coming forward again. Eventually a foot in there by Marine shirt and cleared by Weir. have been a completely different game if that Spittle chance went in under 5 minutes. But it wasn't to be, and it's an uphill task now for Neil Young's men. There's a poor touch by Hewitt. He keeps it in play just about, but Solomon's there to claim the ball. Plays it into the space, looking for Lussey, and I think Birkinshaw will get back for that one. Ball breaks though for Hodkinson now. Bringing with a chance just before half time. Poor ball though, searching for Bunny. Cleared away by Morgan. Doyle this time for Marine. Into Hodkinson with a bit of space, taking on Bourne. Bourne stands him up and does really well again. And it's going to be a goal kick. You have to say, in particular, Troy Bourne and Nathan Okome have been outstanding for the Dabbers in this first half.
Yeah, it's definitely been a bit of a better reaction since the second goal for Nantwich. A bit more energy and a passing and fluidity, but there Hodkinson just needs to try and get something off.
I think it will just be a singular minute at a time. There's a kick forward by Booth, who's out for a Marine throw inside their own half. Down the line by Johnson, winning there by Birkinshaw. It's a foul on Doyle in the process. So Marine with a chance just before half time to get one back. What a big goal it could be. I think it's going to be Will Johnson to put a delivery in it. High line by Nantwich playing outside their own box, but it's going to be Johnson to drill it in towards the back post. Good header in there by Morgan. Hodkinson's there though to revive something for Marine, but he's been forced back all the way to Lussey inside of his own half. Lussey down the line, winning there by Okome. Solomon wins it though. Weir just couldn't quite get a hold of it. Out for a throw in again. Will Marine get a late attack before the half-time whistle? I think the referee's whistle is imminent. Down the line, winning there by Roxburgh. And there is the half-time whistle. Marine 0, Nantwich Town 2. Goals by Sean Cook and a late penalty in the half, converted by Byron Harrison. See the Dabbers 2-0 up at the break. So work to do for Marine in the second half. You can join us back in 15 minutes. See how the second half unfolds. So see you in 15 minutes for the second half. So welcome back to Marine Travel Arena in the Northern Premier League. Here it is Marine 0, Nantwich Town 2 at half time. Goals from Sean Cook and a penalty from Byron Harrison. In the first half, give the Dabbers a 2-0 lead at the break. Adam, what do you think Marine need to do to change kind of way that first half's gone in their favour in the second?
Well, substitutions would be the first thing that I'd start with, and it looks like there's going to be 2 here. Looks like it will probably be Akil Raffi and Kyle Head to come on, but I think we just need to be a bit more fluid with our passing, control possession a bit, which is something we really didn't do after that first sort of 5-7 minutes. But yeah, substitutions, maybe a bit of a change in shape, and just we've got nothing at this point. We've got nothing to lose. 2-0 down, first goal in the second half, and you're right back in it. So it's all to play for you for Marine. It's just interesting to see who's going to come off to be replaced by these two, rather.
Yeah, but not many league games at all left of the season. Every point counts, and even if Marine just got it back to a 2-2 in the second half, you'd have to say it's better than nothing at this stage. As you say, it does look to be at least one change at half time. Akil Raffi is stripped and ready. Kyle Hayes still with a jumper on, so we'll wait to see if he will be coming on at half time as well. I'm just looking as to who may be the people to come off.
So maybe Ben Hodkinson's made way.
Yeah, you're right there, though. Number 7, Ben Hodkinson.
And it looks like Kyle Hayes is coming on for, I'm not too sure who. Maybe no Lucy still on the pitch. Mark Howarth?
Yeah,
like.
it is going to be Mark Howarth and Ben Hodkinson to be replaced. So Ben Hodkinson and Mark Howarth off at half time, and it will be Kyle Hayes returning from an injury, and Akil Raffi, his first game in a Marine shirt. Yet to see too much of him, well, nothing of him as yet. He's been on the bench a couple of times. It's Whitby Town. And he's onto the pitch now, and hopefully can change in Marine's favour, as we are now back fully for the second half. Game's kicked back off with Johnson launching the ball forward, cleared away, and one back in there by Spittle. Header in there, wearing that much shirt, they're going to come forward again. Run in there by Raffi, onto the pitch, cleared forward again by the Dabbers, out for a throw for Marine. So I'm just looking at the shape of Marine. It does look like it's going to stick with that back 5 into the second half, with Kyle Hayes and Lucas Weir occupying the wing back slots. Maybe Akil Raffi in that 10 role with Bunny and Solomon ahead of him. There is Raffi. His start passing to Lucy is blocked, and then he's been challenged off the ball, and Nantwich can come forward here. Charlo Doyle fouls Casper Hughes. Cheap free kick there on the edge of the box. Maybe 25 yards or so off from goal. Another chance for the Dabbers to hurt Marine even more than they already have.
Yeah, well, it's not really the way you want to be starting your Marine career if you're Akil Raffi. A few passes just getting blocked and intercepted. And then Doyle, I think it's probably pretty smart from Hughes just to turn his back on Doyle before he made contact with him to win the free kick, because it wasn't a particularly strong challenge, but yeah, a good chance now for them to have a shot on goal potentially.
Yeah, they are eyeing up goal. It's Hewitt and another Nantwich player over this one. It's a 2-man wall for Marine. The shot does go in, and it's a wild one over the bar. I think it might have been Sean Cook took the free kick. He's already got one in this game. Wasn't afraid to try his luck for another. It's going to be a goal kick for Marine and Bailey Passon to take. Passon knocks this one forward onto the head of Charlo Doyle, who helps it on. Running there by Morgan. Straight back to Doyle, who again lofted ball forward. It's going to be won every day of the week by that Nantwich back three, as we saw in the first half. Solomon does well to just keep it in play, and he's been challenged on the sidelines by Bourne, and Marine win themselves a free kick. Solomon is going to be okay to get back to his feet here. Referee just wants a word with Troy Bourne following the challenge. I don't think there'll be much more than that. So free kick for Marine. Crossing opportunity that Sol Solomon is going to occupy here. An early goal in the second half is exactly what we need if we want to get anything from this game. So Solomon to put the ball into the box, headed in there by, it was Doyle, but cleared away eventually by Nantwich. Trip in there by Lucy on Evans, but the referee waves it away, and ball forward by Hayde is going to be headed out and cleared by the Dabbers. The ball is deflected though, and it's kept in there off by Lucy. On the ball now, looking for an option. It's going to have to go all the way back to Wardle. And now square into Spittle. Now Johnson under the pressure of Cook. Dinks it forward. Cleared away though by Bourne. Out for a throw.
Yeah, I'd expect Nantwich to have sat in a little bit, especially with the 2-0 lead, not to try push too many men up at the start of the second half, and that's what they've done. So Marine have had a little bit more possession to work with here. I think they need to continue that, just continue to build up that pressure and chances will come.
Long throw in into the box by Carl Hayde. It's missed every Marine shirt, and it's Solomon at the back post. Shrugged off it though by Bourne, and the ball now into the hands of Thomas Booth. So just run you through the Marine 11 into this second half. It's number 1 Bailey Passon, 2 is Will Johnson, 3 Joe Buddy, at 15 Carl Hayde, 5 the captain Josh Wardle, 6 Johnny Spittle, 17 Akil Raffi, 8 Charlie Doyle, 9 Jordan Lucy, 10 Sol Solomon, and 11 will be Lucas Weir. As the ball's on the halfway line now with Hewitt, who flicks it forward, headed in there by Spittle and collected by Lucy. It's just an aimless ball out of play by Lucy. That's kind of some Marines game up to now. A few aimless balls out of play. Not really getting a hold of possession at all in this game. And I think Nantwich will take their time now on these set plays as they do, but the throw does come forward with Roxburgh. Collected by Raffi and knocked forward by Weir. Bourne's underneath it, and it's going to be helped on by Berkhamshaw, who does well to get past Hayde. Ball forward, hit the back of Doyle, and ball now to Solomon, and Raffi, nice touch, comes forward. Raffi's looking sharp, a nice little ball in behind, looking for Buddy, and Buddy finds the back of the net, but the offside flag did come up before Joe Buddy took the shot on. No real complaints by Marine shirts. But already Akil Raffi showing what he can do and what he can bring to the team there.
Yeah, exactly. Just driving at defences, making little twitchy movements. Excuse me. Yeah, just driving at the defence and creating some problems there, because he could have played Solomon down the line if he'd have wanted to. Was a safer option, but nice little touch. Gets him into some space. Obviously, Bunny's just drifted offside, but he's had quite a lively start to the second half as Raffi.
Kick forward, flicked on nicely by Harrison. It's going to run back to Passon. It's a really poor kick forward by Passon, straight out of play for a throw in deep inside Marine territory. Berkhamshaw, an impressive game to this point, with the ball in his hands for the throw. He's thinking about the long option as he steps back and eventually gets the ball into the box, headed out by Spittle. Hewitt now lays it back to Berkhamshaw, who tries to take it past Hayde, but Hayde puts a block in and out for another throw in. So Berkhamshaw to get play underway again with the long throw into Hewitt, and back to Berkhamshaw to put a low cross in. Raffi clears only as far as Bourne, who tries to play it back into the box, won in there by Doyle. And now Morgan with his back to goal. He looks to play a pass back to his keeper, the ball bobbling on its way back, but it's a good clearance in the end by Booth. A long clearance that's won in there by Spittle, collected by Cook, and now looking for Passon, who him and Haid eventually deal with it. Passon claiming the ball. And he kicks it forward, looking for Joe Bunny, who has found himself in a striker role and also found himself offside again. With the linesman's flag being raised. So Thomas Booth in no rush to take this one. Ashton United doubling their lead at home to Guiseley. Also Lancaster City getting a goal back just before half time there away at Warrington Rylands. Mid-table clash. Kick forward running there by Spittle. And Spittle will be there once more to get his head on the ball, but keeps coming back at him at the moment. It's Cook now, lays it off to Hughes, who struck an effort but was always falling wide of the target.
Been more or the same really this half, apart from the first sort of few minutes and one or two chances created by Rafi. It's just been lack of control in the game from either side. Very sort of, that's a perfect representation as Passon drills it along the floor from a goal kick.
Kicking's not up to scratch in this game so far. Bailey Passon again. Fortunately for him, Marine come away with the ball. Johnson, poor pass collected there, read well by a co-mate. Into the feet of Harrison, but Doyle does well to intercept and can come forward now. Into Rafi, challenging there by another Nantwich shirt, and Harrison can break now. Harrison challenging there by Wardle, and it's kind of opened up a little bit now in the game. Ball forward by Doyle is going to be claimed though by Booth.
It's just been that, I mean, I couldn't have really timed that comment more perfectly with the play, if you want to call it that unfolded just afterwards. Of just constant changes of possession, people trying to shift past players and getting tackled easily, then getting tackled themselves. It's just been a lack of quality from Marine that it's not been present in the last few games. We've usually had a bit of flair here and there, but this game we've just really struggled with it.
Ball forward to Doyle is won well in there by Troy Bourne. Ball forward though by Spittle, and now Hay to knock it forward. Solomon lays it off to Bunny, and it's gone out of play for a throw. And it's just been a lot of aerial balls for Marine that at home you usually see played a bit more on the deck, but a bit more of an aerial approach today that hasn't worked to their favour.
It looks like Louis Britton's shaping up to come on here, and I can understand why with the way they've been playing. You know, if we're going to keep pumping balls forward, then you need someone with his skill in that area to come on, because we haven't had it so far.
It's gone out for a Marine throw-in inside their own half, and as you say, Louis Britton will be entering the pitch immediately. Just waiting to see who we will be replacing. It's going to be number 3, Joe Bunny, straight swap at the top end of the pitch then for Marine.
For Marine, leaving the field is number 3, Joe Bunny.
That's our final change of the afternoon, isn't it? All 3 been made now.
Yep. And Joe Bunny, that confirmation being replaced by Louis Britton, who, as you would have heard, scored a hat-trick inside the last 15 minutes of the game on Monday night against Southport. Fine display of finishing that we'll could do with again this afternoon. Throwing down the line, running there by Morgan and cleared by a co-mate. Chested down nicely by Harrison and knocked forward by Cook. Down the line. It's just escaped the touchline and out for a throw-in. I think the ball may have gone out previously, I'm not too sure. Or an offside flag, in fact, is what's changed the situation there. It will be passing to get things underway with ball forward straight into the hands of Booth. So Britton is on the top end now with Solomon just behind him. Booth kicks it forward, looking for Harrison, challenging there by Wardle, who wins the header. Collected by Haid, who takes on Hewitt. Knocks it down the line, looking for Solomon. Nice ball. Collected by the number 10. Looks to skip past a Comey, but the ball just escapes his path. And it's going to be a Nantwich Town throw-in inside their own half.
the Nantwich defenders have done well to keep likes of Solomon quiet this game, because even there where he's got a decent touch on, but they've been so close to him, he's not had that room to turn and manoeuvre like he usually does.
That's got to be credit to Nantwich Town. They defended fantastically in this game. Ball now with Doyle. Got forward, running there by Morgan. Bit of head tennis in the middle of the pitch, and Lucy goes flying in with a kick and ends up on the wrong end of it, and Connor Evans can break there. Good defending by Wardle just to shield him away from the ball. Spittle now with a ball forward. It's going to be won every day by Troy Bourne into Harrison, who's held it well, but Johnson gets a foot in and Spittle clears. You have to feel for Sol Solomon in this game. He's feeding off scraps yet again with a long ball over his head. It's gone for a Marie throw-in. Haid can take. I think Haid's just going to wait for Josh Wardle to get the top end of the pitch for this one. So it will be Haid to launch a throw-in into the box. Wardle flicks it on, and it's headed in there by Louis Britton. His first action since coming onto the pitch, but his header goes straight into the hands of Thomas Booth. But a chance there from the throw-in.
Yeah, it's just that he's got that striker's nous to be in those positions to get onto the end of these flick-ons. It wasn't obviously a testing attempt for Booth, but it's the thing he provides more than just having Solomon and Hodkinson up front.
Rafi wins a flick on, but it's cleared forward by Hewitt. And Weir challenges well on Roxburgh. And come forward here, Lucas Weir, taking on a co-mate. Weir goes down the line and puts a cross in. It's come out to Rafi now. Lucy lays it back to Weir. Roxburgh still on the floor, and the referee does eventually. Oh, it's another flag from the lines, but it's gone up. Fair few offsides at the top end of the pitch for Marine, but the referee now comes back for Aidan Roxburgh, who's on the deck following that challenge by Lucas Weir.
Yeah, I mean, are not in a great position to, say whether Nantwich are holding a really good line or whether our players are just being lazy and not looking across the line. It's for this many offsides to be given. It's poor from us either way, because even if not all of them are 100%, still so many offsides where it's just needless ones like that, where maybe Lucy shouldn't have played him the ball back, but we was in a good position to cross it when he got the ball. If he'd have strayed back another few yards, he'd have had a good chance to cross it. But yeah, it's just been a frustrating, lacklustre 60 minutes from the Mariners.
Roxburgh in a bit of discomfort here, as you can see, still on the deck. Didn't look to be too much in it when him and Lucas Weir came together, but certainly a bit of discomfort with players over him from both sides. So hopefully this one isn't as bad as it looks from where we're sitting. In that big game at Gainsborough Trinity, they've managed to get an equaliser there at home to Warrington Town. 3rd versus 5th there. And also Matlock Town have got a goal ahead away at Liversedge. And Warrington Rylands 2-1 up now at home to Lancaster City. As Aidan Roxburgh is still on the deck here for the Dabbers. Physio, he might be on his right ankle possibly. I think it will be a certain change. Joel Connolly is the man stripped and ready to replace their number 2.
Yeah, when he went down, it didn't look to. I didn't look to be too hard of a challenge or anything like that, but he stayed down for quite a while here, so obviously there's a bit of an issue. Some of the Nantwich media to our right was complaining that the referee should have stopped play, but the referee's well within his right unless it's head injury to keep the play rolling. He's up on his feet now, so hopefully for his sake he's not too bad. Looks to be just sort of bending the knee, seeing if he can put much weight on it. So yeah, could have been maybe a clash of knees, something like that, but yeah, taking a while to get back up here.
Well, they have told Connolly to go back to the bench, but it's going to be a change regardless for the Dabbers. I think it's going to be number 14, Thomas Scully, instead, to come onto the pitch. As Joel Connolly's been sent out on a warm-up instead. Just waiting for confirmation of that change. I do believe it is Thomas Scully there, ready to come on. And he will be replacing is that number, not too sure who it is at the moment. For Nantwich, yet to see the board come up. But it is Thomas Scully to come on. It's number 8, Casper Hughes, who's come off for him, obviously booked in the first half.
Nantwich Town replacing number 8, Casper Hughes. It's number 14, Tom Scully.
Game back underway here with Wardle headed it forward. It comes back at him, but Spittle will head it forward. Weir gets on the end of it. The ball's still in the air. We just need to get it down on the deck. There's a ball gone out for a throw in. The Lions was not too sure who for, but it's gone Marine's favour. Wardle launches it down the line, looking for Britton. Headed in there by Akome. Flicked on by, it was Charlie Doyle in there, throwing himself at it as he does. Sean Cook, sorry. He's lost possession inside of his own half, and Solomon over the ball now. Get to see too much of him in the second half. Nice ball back to Raffi. And Raffi looking to lay it back to Doyle, but a great interception on the edge of his own box by Hewitt for the Dabbers, who can come forward now. On the right hand side, it's number 9, Connor Evans, with the ball. He's played it back in a switch of play, brilliant switch of play in fact, to Berkhamshaw. Good challenge there by Carl Haid, who's been challenged. It's going to be a free kick for Marine. Doyle gets underway quickly, and referee has pulled it back for a rolling ball. Johnson instead is going to take this one.
Got to feel these next sort of 5-10 minutes are essential for Marine to get a goal here if they want to get back into this game, because they haven't shown much through sort of the first 65 minutes of the game. So if they don't get a goal by sort of 75, I don't see us getting a point from this, unfortunately.
It's going to be a throw in a bit further up this time for Carl Haid, who's already shown he can throw the ball into the box from range. He's going to do so again here. Into the box looking for Wardle, who gets a header onto it, but it's cleared well by Scully into the path of Aidan Roxburgh, who saw what he could do on that right hand side in the first half. He lays it off though this time to former Marine man Evans, who takes on Spittle. Evans gets across it. It's a decent looking cross, but it's evaded that Sean Cook, who's entering the Marine box. Cleared forward by Marine, but shielded well by Troy Bourne. He's done everything right. It's come his way. This ball forward back to Bailey passing. It will return the favour back into Nantwich's half. Britton challenges with the header, and it's fell to Raffi now. Raffi back to Britton. Britton looks to get a shot off, it's blocked, and Raffi again trying to find Britton. It's fallen to Doyle though. He's got a chance to lay it off to Britton, and he does. Britton now pass into the box. Good defended by Akome, who's fouled as he clears it by Solomon. And Nantwich have a free kick inside their own box.
All the best play in the second half's come through, all were involved. Raffi, which is a good sign for him, but the rest of the players haven't really been able to link up with him in the same way that he's been able to link up with other players. Britton there getting some good positions, winning headers, knockdowns, and looking to play the ball inside, but yeah, Nantwich has just been solid defensively, not really allowed as much space to get off any meaningful attempts.
Kick forward, one in there well by Wardle. Ball falls though to Scully, who can knock it forward again. Wardle helps it on. Ball just not really sitting well at Marine's feet. As it's launched forward again. It's been that kind of game with aerial balls to both sets of centre halves as Lossy pulls back Cook for a free kick on the halfway line. Nantwich won a yellow card, but the referee says no. There will be a free kick for the visitors on the halfway line that Nathan Akome will launch forward, and he does, looking for Harrison. Harrison pushes Johnson in the process of claiming the ball, and the referee sees an impediment there, and will be a free kick for Marine. Passant rolls it out to launch forward yet again. We've not really seen any played around the back of Marine's defence, been all direct this afternoon. It's gone forward again, but it's ended up at the feet of Wardle. He has to go back to Passant. He's under pressure by Connor Evans. Better kick forward this time though. Running there by Comey. Weir plays it forward. He's come out of shirt number this second half. And Rafi can drive forward, takes on a man, and still with the ball at his feet there. Rafi lays it to Haid. Back to Rafi, puts a cross in, headed out towards his own goal and evades the target. Fortunately for Troy Bourne, it's gone out for a corner.
Rafi's just been a bit of a spark plug for us in this half, just been lively where others haven't been. He's been sort of that sort of Scarisbrick role. He's been all over the place, running with the ball, connecting play. It's what we've really needed this game, so it's good to see him come on and do so well in the second half, but we've just got to get a goal soon.
Corner in by Solomon. Claimed really, really well by Thomas Booth, you have to say. Goalkeeper claimed it well with both hands. As I mentioned earlier, Lucas Weir, I saw him swap shirts. He didn't seem to have a bloody nose or anything, but he swapped his number 11 shirt for one of no number in the second half. Kick forward, running there by Wardle. Johnson can bring it down, and he does well. Launch it forward to Solomon now. Solomon goes to Haid, who drives past Berkhamshaw. Still Haid taking on Bourne. Goes past Bourne here, Carl Haid. Well, the third challenge is a heavy one, but a fair one. And it's Jonathan Morgan with the challenge. Out for a throw-in. So another chance for Carl Haid to launch a throw-in into the box. Thrown by Haid, flipped on by Doyle. It's broke for Doyle. Good keeping again by Booth, who threw himself at the ball, and the linesman on that far side suggested he was fouled in the process. But Charlie Doyle's not happy with it all. Letting his feelings known to the linesman.
I'm not really sure what that's been given for, to be honest. We are at the other end of the pitch, but yeah, it's both the goalkeeper and Doyle are going for the ball there. I don't see what obviously the linesman probably got a better view of it, but Neil Young's really not happy with that decision.
So 20 minutes left in this game. Not long left for Neil Young's men to get anything from this, never mind the 3 points that were predicted before kick-off. Linesman's given an offside that the referee's only just seen on Byron Harrison. And the referee just making sure that the kick's taken where the man was adjudged offside. So Passant pushes Johnson up the pitch and launches his one forward, looking for Doyle. Doyle gets the flick on. Berkenshaw's going to shield it out for, well, a corner in the end. I think he wanted the free kick, Berkenshaw. But the referee says no, and it's another chance for Sol Solomon to put a delivery here. Marine with a little bit more urgency now. So Rafi wants the short option, and Solomon's going to give it him. Rafi taking on his man. Gets past his man. Rafi got a chance to shoot. Good block in there. Then it comes to Cook, who lays it back, and the Dabbers will knock it forward now. Decent ball out to Scully. Good. Wardle's there to intercept. Doyle out. There's a 1-2 with Wardle. Oh, Wardle looking inside to Rafi, who had space, but the ball just slightly in front of him. And a good ball now looking for Connor Evans. Spittle's there to mop up the danger. Plays it off Evans for a Marine throw-in. So throwing right inside the own half here, Marine, for Johnson to take. Marine have made all 3 substitutions. Carl Aiden Akio Raffi coming on at the break, and Louis Britton added to that 10 minutes after. Second half is underway. Passon knocks this one forward, looking for Britton. It's a long kick, won in there again by Troy Bourne. Comes to Lussey, who plays it out wide to Wardle, who's stepped up a bit further on in this second period. Spittle now. Comes inside, waiting for an option, and he can't find one, so he's forced back to Passon. Passon out to Johnson. Johnson digs out a ball down the line looking for Haid, but there's Troy Bourne again. Lussey looking for a quick throw in, but lack of options, has to lay it off to Haid. And now Doyle with a bit of space. Comes inside to Raffi. Raffi will try and take on his man. Goes for a shot. Raffi, and it's a great shot, and I think it's palmed out just about by Thomas Booth. A shot from nothing, really. Akio Raffi. Brilliant effort.
It's an unbelievable effort. I don't know how he's got the whip on that from the angle he was shooting at. 'Cause he was sort of falling over himself trying to get that shot away. Whipped his foot around it, and it's almost flew into the top left-hand corner, or top right-hand corner.
Corner taken in, headed out by Nantwich shirt. Marine looked to try and revive something from this attack with Raffi. Lays it back to Weir. Weir digs out across from deep. It's a decent ball, looking for Wardle. He gets his head to it. At the back post is Spittle, who hits the deck. A few shouts for a penalty. I don't think there's ever going to be that. But a lovely ball in by Lucas Weir. Wardle did do well to tower over and head it back into the danger area where Spittle was. Just couldn't quite get any connection on it.
Ladies and gents, today's attendance 1,561.
It's been better these last few minutes, but maybe think it's just a bit too late potentially.
Just confirmation there. The P8 attendance this afternoon, 1,561 here. Incredible, really. Over 1,500 fans for a Northern Premier League fixture. But at the moment, it's not what they would have expected here, as Nantwich Town 2-0 up at the MTA. But there's still time left for Marine. He's got a throw in here down the line by Wardle. Headed in there by Akome. And Raffi collects it. Lovely feet there by Raffi. Comes forward here and hits the deck, and a few shouts for a penalty. Referee again not interested. Stronger shouts on this occasion by the fans behind the goal. Waved away though when Wardle tries to lay it to feet of Doyle. Launched forward by Morgan. And the goal shot. It's a clearance. Sorry. A bit bewildered by that attempt. Clearance forward by Morgan. Almost caught passing off guard there. What a calamity of a goal that would have been.
Yeah, well, just before that, the shout for Raffi for the penalty. Unfortunately for us, there was a lot of crowded players just in front of the action, so we didn't quite see what exactly happened, but loud shouts from the Marine fans behind the goal, so be interesting to hear Neil Young's thoughts on that after the game potentially.
Taken there by Doyle, is hit forward by Scully. Looking for Connor Evans, pass that comes out of his box to clear the ball. It's not a big clearance, and a foul there surely by Johnson. No, referee not interested again on Sean Cutt this time. And Lussey will try and play it down the line. Lovely bring down on the ball by Troy Bourne, who's certainly been my man of the match this afternoon for Nantwich. Good feet in there by Harrison. Comes back inside the pitch. A bit deeper than we would have wanted, but plays it back to Akome. Now Scully with time to come forward. Digs out a ball, a fantastic ball, looking for Connor Evans, who comes inside past Johnson. Connor Evans comes inside and finds the back of the net, and that's a third. Fantastic ball from substitute Thomas Scully. Finds Connor Evans, who skipped inside past Will Johnson and finds the back of the net. And it's former Marine man Connor Evans who finds a third for the Dabbers.
Yeah, well, you've got to say that's game over now. 3-0, about 13 minutes to go in normal time. Good play by Connor Evans to hold up the ball after the ball over the top, found him. William Johnson just couldn't do enough. It's not been a great game for him today, but it is only mediocre game in the Marine shirt so far. Evans skipped past him and finished past Passon. it's been a tough one for today for Marine, and it's really going to hamper things against teams like Nantwich in terms of their league position. Being 3-0 down at home, it's not a good result at all.
You'd have to hope it's just going to be a bad day at the office for Marine, and got games coming thick and fast on Tuesday night at Matlock Town and Friday afternoon at Mosque. You have to hope to bounce back there, as it looks all dead and buried here now. 3 goals to the good. Could be a fourth here. Connor Evans coming in, beats the challenge by Spittle, the vital challenge by Josh Wardle. Gets a free kick and Spittle will launch it forward looking for Solomon. Headed up there by Bourne. Doyle's underneath it, but it's going to be cleared by Jonathan Morgan. Nantwich were just considering a third and final change. I think it was Daniel Coqueline, but he's put his bib back on. Maybe that third goal just changed the thoughts of the Nantwich gaffer there. There will be a throw-in deep inside the half of Nantwich Town. Don't think anyone would have called it a 3-0. They needed the points. I didn't expect them to seal all 3 in the fashion that they have. But that will take them out of the relegation zone for now, as Stalybridge Celtic's game at Marsk was postponed earlier today. There's space now for Aidan Roxburgh to run into. Lucas Weirs found himself out of position, but he checks back to Scully. Scully again, trying to play it in behind. Wardle does well to win the header, but it's fallen out to Hewitt, who's brought to the deck by Lussey. Play continues as Cook tries to get past Doyle, but a good challenge by Doyle. Sees him come forward now. So tries to play it out wide to Solomon, who's never going to get that. Straight out of play for a throw-in, and Solomon just looks back and throws his arms about, thinking, what am I supposed to do about that?
Yeah, it's just another example of just a lack of quality from Marine today. Not an overly hard play, and he's just not got enough whip on it to keep it in play. You can see by the expression and the body language of the Marine players just what a performance they've put in today. It's just been draining. They've looked, I mean, you look at the effects of playing on Monday night, but you know, it's not the quickest turnaround compared to what they've had in the past. So, yeah, a confusing result.
Come's ball searching for Connor Evans. He's looked really sharp, and as we saw when he was at Marine earlier in the season, bags of energy, and he's still working his socks off trying to get the ball back. Give Marine players no time at the back with the ball at their feet, and it's not forward by Spittle out for Marine throwing. Last touch off Birkinshaw. It's Carl Haid. Throws it into the feet of Solomon. Back to Haid, who digs out across onto the head of Charlie Doyle, but it's gone wide off the post. And a goal kick for the Dabbers. Thomas Booth to take this goal kick forward. Searching for Harrison. Spittle's there. Digs it forward. Looking for Britton, who's been quiet since coming on. A lot quieter than he was off the bench on Monday night. Cook not forward, looking for Harrison, who's adjudged offside by the linesman. So around 8 minutes left of normal time here at the MTA. It's Nantwich are going to make their third and final change. Number 12, Daniel Coqueline, has been given the nod to come on. He will replace number 9, Connor Evans.
Substitution in Nantwich, replacing number 9, Connor Evans. Number 12, Daniel
So confirmation there. Connor Evans' day at the MTA is up. On his return, won his team a penalty and converted a goal of his own. So not a bad day at the office for him.
No, not at all. been very effective this game. He's obviously made some changes in his, maybe just changing his confidence since he's been here, because he wasn't too prolific in his time here, but he's played well today.
Hayden Roxburgh's, I have to say, he's been excellent going forward on that right hand side. Comes forward again. Poor pass into him though by Byron Harrison. Escapes his grasp, but it's going to be a marine throw in for Wardle to take. Wardle down the line looking for Britton. Britton holds it up. Lost the ball though to Roxburgh, who sends it down the line looking for Cockerline. Cockerline's had his shirt pulled, and it's going to be a free kick outside of the box. Again, Johnny Spittle losing out there and almost conceded another penalty as he did in the first half, but the linesman says the initial challenge was outside the box. So a free kick for Nantwich and Stephen Hewitt again. To take, and it could be go from bad to worse here for Marine. Already 3-0 down. Goal difference still a part to play in the playoff chase, you could suggest. Hewitt with the cross, headed up by Wardle. Straight back to Hewitt though, we will let it ride out for a throw-in. South Shields have equalised at Bamber Bridge to make it 1-1 there. Belper Town have taken the lead at home to Afton Collieries, who are having a tough week after losing 4-0 at home to Liversedge. Could find themselves in a relegation battle with a few games left to play, as Nantwich Town win themselves a corner. A few fans I can see dressed in green, loving every minute of this into the final stages.
I think the main question for Neil Young's going to be, how has this happened? Because it's been, I can't remember when the last performance like this was. There's been a consistent period of good performances from the boys, so to have it in a game like this where you'd expect it to be winning, maybe it's just a bit of complacency, but either way, it's a horrible day for the boys.
Heavy challenge there by Birkenshaw on Hayde, but he comes out with the ball. Nice 1-2 between himself and substitute Cockerline. Birkenshaw with a chance to cross it, plays it off Lussey for a throw-in. So it's going to be a throw-in for Birkenshaw. Harrison's just holding it up into the corner, lays it back to Scully, wants to put a cross in. He's looking for the run of Cockerline, but it's cleared away by Spittle. Headed in there by Morgan. Doyle's in there challenging for the ball. It's fallen to Raffi, who lays it off to Wardle. Knocks forward looking for Britton, but I think Akome will deal with this one, and he does. Down the line, helped on by Hewitt. We're going to be kept in by Cockerline, it isn't, it's going to be a Marine throw-in. Down the line by Josh Wardle. Collected in there by Britton, who goes for goal. Not real pressure on there, Thomas Booth, he just waved it away wide of the post. After a couple narrow defeats, it's a big 3 points for the Dabbers. Maybe want to build on with a handful of games left to play. Goal kick forward by Booth. Challenging there by Spittle, but Cockerline gets the better of it and can come forward. Good foot in by Johnson. Lussey knocks it forward again, but it's an aimless pass into the space rather than picking out a player. Popped up by Bourne. Johnson will lay it off back to Passon, who knocks it forward looking for Raffi, but it's too high for him and collected by Akome. Akome plays it back to his keeper, who looks to switch the play to Harrison, but Hayde does well to get the better of it. Good pass into Doyle. Doyle's challenging there by Birkenshaw, and now Scully can take on Hayde. plays into Harrison, who leaves it, plays it out wide to Roxburgh. Real swagger about the way that Nantwich are playing now. Real confidence. Pass in there, plays off to Scully, who takes on the shot and passing with his bearings of the net, just about let it go. Slightly wide of the post there.
Just confident play from Nantwich. I mean, obviously the result, the scoreline is going to give them confidence to play, a bit more freely. But throughout the game today, you wouldn't think that the gap in the league between these two sides is what it is.
Coqueline breached the offside line there, and linesman's flag is up for a free kick. So Wardle takes it short to Weir. Weir knocks it forward looking for Solomon, but it's latched onto by Raffi, and Solomon hits the deck and eventually cleared away by Booth. Running there by Spittle, headed forward by Roxburgh, and now is cut to late into the path of Coqueline. Johnson teals it away with a minute left of normal time. There's Carl Haid for Marine, tackling there by Birkinshaw for a throw-in. Haid searching for an option, he can't find one. Eventually Doyle comes for the ball, knocks it back to Haid, who switches play to Wardle. Wardle has to come back inside to Lussey. Lussey into the feet of Doyle, who skips past Birkinshaw and does well to play it into Haid, but Birkinshaw does really well to get back and put a challenge in and clears his lines. Lussey again in the middle of the park, back to Weir, to the feet of Louis Britton, whose pass is cut out by Coqueline. This pass looking for Harrison is cut out by Johnson, and now Carl Haid with the ball again. Plays it infield, cleared, a poor clearance in fact by Akobe. Thomas Booth just enough to keep the ball in play and claims the ball. So Adam, going into Tuesday's game in just a few days' time, what does Marine need to do to change the way that they've played in this game?
I think this performance has to inspire some energy going into Tuesday night's game. It's been so drab. Everything's been off. There's not been one player particularly stood out. So I think probably changing the starting lineup will come. I think probably I wouldn't be surprised to see Akil Raffi come into the starting lineup. Maybe a slight change of formation, just because even since the switch to 3 at the back hasn't really worked. But yeah, a lot of things for Neil Young to work out before Tuesday's game, and it's going to be a big wake-up call for Marine if they want to get into those playoff places.
Not much have won themselves a free kick. Lucas Weir there fouling his man, and it's come out to Harrison, who's going to shield it from Raffi in the Marine corner flag. Weir comes away with the ball though and knocks it forward down the line looking for Britton, but it's got out of play for thrown to the away side. Roxburgh send it down the line with the throw-in. Running there by Wardle, and Raffi can claim the ball. Challenging there by Roxburgh again on Raffi. Coqueline tries to let off to Cook, but Spittle's there and passing with the ball now. Sends it out wide to Johnson under pressure. And his ball forward represents that as it's gone out of play. So we are into added time, yet to see the board to tell us how many minutes have been added on, but I don't think it will really matter or change the outcome here.
No, I'm sure the players would probably rather less added time rather than more, because this game's finished.
Raffi with the ball, tries to play it forward, but it's deflected out for another throw-in. Haid into Doyle, back to Haid. Another throw-in for the Mariners. Can they get a late consolation maybe in the closing stages? Solomon. Hay tries to dig across, but again blocked. Bergenshaw this time. Another man who's had a brilliant game at the back for Nantwich. It's going to be a long throw into the box. Carl Hayde looking for Josh Wardle, but it's headed in there by a Nantwich head and claimed by Thomas Booth, who's had a quiet second half, bar that one attempt on goal by Akil Rafi. So, kick forward here by Booth, the referee yet to check his watch. So still got minutes to play in this game. Rafi gets his head forward. Morgan sends it back where it came from, and Lussey can claim it for Marine. Spittle now under pressure, goes back to Passon. Passon plays it out wide to Johnson. Cockeline's on his back and he plays it down the line looking for Doyle. Troy Bourne deals with it brilliantly again. It's kept in play by Cockeline, done really well there. Inside now to Cook, who plays a nice ball out wide looking for Roxburgh, who can keep it in play here. Nantwich searching for a fourth late on. Scully to take on Wardle, and the ball deflects off the shins of Josh Wardle. It's going to be a late corner for the visitors. And no rush to take this one. Thomas Scully actually leaves the ball for Sean Cook, scorer of the opener, on the half-hour mark. Scully receives the short corner. It's going to go out for a throw-in for Nantwich Town. Scully again, we'll just leave this one. It's Aidan Roxburgh's come forward again with the ball in his hands, goes to Scully, and now Cook taking on Lussey. Goes back though to the corner. It's going to be another corner. Just hoping that full-time whistle comes any minute now. And there it is. Full-time here at the MTA. Marine 0, Nantwich Town 3. It's a full-time score. Goals from Sean Cook, Byron Harrison and Connor Evans. Seals the deal for Nantwich Town. That takes them outside the bottom four. Much needed 3 points for them, but for Marine, a big dent in that late push for the playoffs. But you can join us again as we travel to Matlock Town on Tuesday for a 7:45 PM kickoff there. And hopefully Marine can bounce back from a really poor day at the office here today. Sending Marine 0, Nantwich Town 3. And thank you all for listening.